What up, y'all? Welcome to another edition of What's in the Box Trek. Disappointing loss for the Lakers last night, but I probably am going to speak more to the game plan and excellent game the Kings had than I'm going to speak to the, relatively poor things the Lakers did. Probably not, if I'm being honest, but let's see how it goes. The Lakers lost this game 116 to 111. The pace of the game was actually pretty slow, which I'm going to start off giving the Kings credit to. I think without Sabonis on the floor, the Lakers probably expected an erratic 100 and 102 possession pace. The Kings gave them a gang rebound. We're going to make this a points in the paint battle game. And I'm not sure the Lakers were really expecting that. I don't know how much it changed the game entirely. As if the Lakers were caught off guard, I kind of doubt that entirely. But I do know that the way that the Kings played this game was probably not entirely what the coaching staff was expecting. At least it wasn't what I was expecting, and I'm not as smart as them. So, there's that too. The Lakers did out attempt the Kings 89 to 87. They put up 89 shots. The Kings put up 87. Both teams made 43 baskets. So here you can see some of the difference, I suppose. I don't know. Free throws was actually a difference in the game when you were like, well, how do they both make 43 shots? The Kings are a better three-point shooting team. Not last night. Free throws, just getting you straight to it. The Kings shoot more threes when Sabonis is on the floor, largely because he's doing the rebound work. So when you look at the Kings being 9 for 30, usually that's like 40 threes. They put up quite a few three-pointers. Usually about half of their shots are three-pointers. So the slow down pace of this offense took away their consistent three-point shot. That's also sort of how the Lakers started playing them. Just really, really, really hard, heavy guarding De'Aaron Fox, who's matured brilliantly this season. A lot of people knew he would be this good, and we're just kind of waiting for it. Well, the wait is over. De'Aaron Fox is the man right now. Listen, the Kings did shoot 30% from the three-point line. Not super great. The Lakers shot 32%. Not super great, but better. 34 threes. We'll get to the threes from an individual standpoint in a minute. Free throws. This is the second part of the reason they lost the game. Not the first, but the second. The Kings shot 27 free throws, 77%, 21 for 27. That's too many fouls for the Lakers in a close game. And this is the Thomas Bryant story. A lot of you were suggesting when Thomas Bryant was showing how good he is and can be as a player, that maybe it's time to move AD. And I thought you guys were crazy. It's like, there is something wrong with these people. Look, Thomas Bryant defensively, you can't keep him on the floor. And this is what teams are starting to do, saying, all right, you know what, fine. You are a point blank shooter. You're great offensively, but defensively, you don't move your feet well. We're going to catch high and attack. We're going to do things to get you to move your feet so that you can't just rest in the paint and use your length. These are things that AD doesn't have a problem with. Now, I know we're going to talk about how AD's not on the floor, but I'm willing to have that conversation with you if we want to talk about Kevin Durant and we want to talk about Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, but we don't want to talk about them. We only want to talk about AD. So then I'm not really willing to have that conversation, right? So the reality here is this. You cannot replace AD, and that's where we are now. But you know what? Let's keep going down these numbers, and I'll get into that in a second. This is where the Lakers lost the game. Rebounds. We talk about offensive rebounds every What's in the Box episode. I'm big on offensive rebounds. As a note, if you got a kid that's playing ball right now, I don't care what size he is, tell him he will stay on the floor if he rebounds and attacks rebounds on the offensive end. Coaches love it. Every coach in the world loves that. And it's how you stay in the game. This was the plan for the Sacramento Kings. They knew that the Lakers are a points in the paint team, but if the Lakers missed a shot, it was a wrap. And they did all this work. The story of this episode is that the Lakers lost this game in the first half. Why do you say that, Trek? Well, I'll tell you why. The Lakers had the Sacramento Kings had 16 second chance points in the first half. The Lakers were burying them, but could not stretch this lead because they were not rebounding the ball. They weren't rebounding the ball, man. If you rebound the ball in the first half, this game is over. I don't think Sacramento Kings have a chance. If this stat of offensive rebounds is even, offensive rebounds for the Kings were 14, Lakers 6. If that stat was even, I mean, I'm not saying anything profound here. Lakers win this game. And it just shows the importance of gang rebounding. Now, look, the Lakers are a fast-breaking team. A lot of people don't like Russell Westbrook. They say that Russell Westbrook goes and steals rebounds to build his stats. It's really a corny argument. A lot of you are just so corny, it's ridiculous. But the point of the him or LeBron rebounding is to kick and push, right? If the rebounder can push, you're in a better position. Go look at Julius Randle with the Knicks and plenty of other players. Mainly the one that people talk about the most are, the Golden State Warriors, right? Draymond Green. But this is where they lost, man. Like this, you can turn the episode off right here if you're tired of listening to me, because this is where they lost. And it sucks because I don't know. It just sucks. Lakers didn't turn the ball over very much, 7 turnovers. The Lakers are now 16th in the league. Remember, we talked about this. So Lakers average 14.3 turnovers a game, right? They're 16th. The Oklahoma City Thunder average 14 even turnovers a game. They're in 9th. That middle ground is just middle ground. So looking at the Lakers turnovers wise, they're not that bad. Sure, you'd like for them to be in the top 10. I don't know, another 2 games like this and they're in the top 10. That's how close it is. I think the next team up averages 13.7. So turnovers are human error. They're going to happen. Ideally, you want them to be around the 12 range if you're really, really, really a great team handling the ball. But I'm not really upset with the Lakers turnovers this season entirely, especially Russ's and LeBron's. There are some nights, but you know what it is. Points off turnovers were even 12 and 12. Lakers won in fast break points, but not by enough, 16-13. And look, when you're giving up points in the paint, when you're giving up second chance rebounds or offensive rebounds and second chance points, your points in the paint are going to lack. And Lakers lost that, a stat that they should have won without Sabonis on the floor. The Lakers were expecting a different game and they didn't get it. And that's the key here, right? So what is the story of the game? Well, the more that I talk about this game and the more that I thought about it before I did this broadcast or before I did this episode, Lakers are now 1-4 at home. They are 9-16 versus their conference. Remember, the conference, you got to beat the conference to move up in the conference. So last night's game was very important. The next 4 games, I talked about this last episode, are against the conference. So you got to play the Clippers in there. You got to play Memphis next. But the problem is you really needed the Sacramento win because Memphis is no joke. And I don't think the Lakers can beat Memphis. I'm sorry. I'm a huge Laker fan. I'm probably the biggest Laker fan out of everybody. And I don't know if the Lakers can beat Memphis. And I'd leave you with this, though. I say that about a lot of teams. If you go back to the Shaq and Kobe team that lost to Utah, I would put that Shaq and Kobe team up against anybody but Utah. I thought Utah was the one team that I thought could beat that Laker team any given night. But even the Bulls, I thought that year the Lakers could beat the Bulls. And you guys could grin and kick all you want. But every other team. So I'm like, at this point, you still got to face Memphis 4 more times. Now you got to beat the Clippers. And I think that's a tough game because that's that's the game of the century for the Clippers. For some odd reason. So I don't know. There's a lot of context in here. I just really want to quickly shout out the Kings broadcast. I really miss professional journalism so much. That's why I do this show. It was a great broadcast, man. I love what the Kings are doing. Their fans are excited. You should be excited. It's a great team. Mike Brown, coach of the year, or Rick Carlisle. But God, that broadcast, they really hated Russell Westbrook, and they showed it. They were not professional about it at all. He shot like 48% on the night. He had 22 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, and 2 turnovers. For all intents and purposes, he had a good night. So I don't know what they were talking about, but boy, if you get a chance, man, catch that Kings broadcast. They are really fan-oriented, and whoa, that was pretty cool. You guys are pretty excited. Shout out to the Kings. Put your beams to the sky for this one. Ill, gross, whatever. We out of here. Peace.